friends and creatives from around the globe. Welcome to Hither and Yon Studio, and if you've been here before, welcome back. DJ in the studio today working on video number 2 for you guys, my favorites of 2024. And today it's all about the supplies. Now, I recently did a video on my favorite tools of 2024. So if you missed that video, I'll link it here or down there somewhere. It'll be here. You can find it. I know you can. You're resourceful. So if you missed that, you can go watch it after this video or now, whatever. It's up to you. But today it's all about the supplies, and I'm going to talk about some of my favorites of 2024. And I'll also talk about the ones that I might not be using as we go into 2025, and some new faves that I absolutely love that I definitely will be bringing into 2025. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, please join me on the desk. And if you're new here, you might want to consider subscribing. And if you're not new here, give this video a like, a thumbs up, and say hello in the comments. I always love to hear from you guys. Love to hear what you have to say. Tell me what your favorite supplies are. And yeah, let's get to making a video. All right, I'll see you on the desk. Bye. All right, guys, it's a lot of stuff. I know it's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff on my desk. There's a lot I'm going to go over. I'm probably going to miss something because it's just a lot of stuff. But I want to stress this again. If you are just getting started, you don't need all this stuff. You don't. These are all mostly nice to have. To start junk journaling, all you need is a little junk and some string or tape to sit it together. That's it. You can start going at it. A pen or a pencil to write in your journal, maybe a magazine to cut out some images from, or just raid your junk mail. That's it. I mean, it really doesn't have to be complicated. We make it complicated because, you know, we want the things. But I've been acquiring a lot of this stuff for years. Like I said in the last video, start where you are and don't think that you can't create if you don't have all the stuff. But having a YouTube channel, I get asked a lot, what is this thing you're using? What do you use for this? What do you use for that? So I thought it would be fun to kind of show you the stuff. You can bookmark this video, by the way, and come back to it if you see another video of mine and you're like, oh, I wonder what that was. And, you know, you can kind of see this video for my faves of 2024. And then there'll be some stuff here I'm not going to be using that I purchased. I thought I would be crazy about and not using it. Probably won't use it a lot. I'm sure I'll use it, but anyway, you know how that goes. And then I have some new stuff here that I know I love now, and it's going to come into 2025 with me. But you just need the basics. You need a little paper, something to cut it with, something to stitch it together with, tape, whatever you have. And you know what? A junk journal can be whatever you want it to be. Meg Journals has a fun no-sew junk journal that you just fold and glue together. So go check out Meg Journals, and she has some amazing videos. She is the host of, or the hostess of, Junk Journal January and Junk Journal July. Very talented artist. You'll love her channel, so go check her out. And she has just like real basic stuff. There's a bunch of people out there. Look, it's a very simple craft, and it can be as complex as you want to make it. I make everything complex. So I'm going to jump into my favorites, and I am going to start with the paper. I use a lot of cardstock. I use this Nina cardstock. I get asked about this cardstock and paper more than, well, I would say glue would be the second thing, which we'll do next. But we're going to do the paper first because it's taking up a lot of room on the desk, and I just want to get it out of here. All right, first, my Nina cardstock. So this is 110 pound, if you can't see that, it's 110 pound index weight, 94 bright. A lot of these products are down in my description box of all my videos. You can click on it. Those are my Amazon links. I do get a small commission when you click on them. But you don't pay any more. So it does help the channel grow, but you could just go over to Amazon and search Nina cardstock. Anyway, it's Nina cardstock. I get so much of this stuff because I print so much. It makes beautiful prints on my Epson ET 2800 printer, which is an EcoTank printer. And yeah, I get mine on Amazon, but you can get it at neenapaper.com, and it's Neenah. and I have the index weight. So that's what I use most of the time. Mostly when I'm printing kits, I print everything on cardstock. There'll be very few times I'm printing on copy paper, but if I do, I'm just using the Amazon Basics copy weight paper. It's just like regular copy paper. It's in the description box below if you want to see what I use. So there, paper, all sorts of paper. And then, so in that line, you know, coffee dyed paper, that's big, right? Coffee dyed paper and like coffee dyed items. I just brought this out here because these happen to be the doilies, but any coffee or tea dyed paper I use a lot of. I buy some. So these pages I bought from a seller on Etsy. I don't have their name off the top of my head, but you can search for like blue coffee dyed paper or black coffee dyed paper. You'll probably find some people who make these. This same thing, this was coffee dyed with one of those lace tablecloths. So I purchased this. I didn't make it. Avocado dyed paper. So this is avocado dyed tracing paper, and I'm actually doing a new batch of regular avocado dyed paper. Gives off a pink hue, so I have a lot of that, and then just coffee dyed paper. Isn't this one cool? Like, I just refuse to give this up because it's got like an eye on it. I have one other one that did this. It was part of the drying process and it bubbled, and yeah, coffee dyed paper. So a big one for me and my favorite, and I have a variety of them. Coffee dyed vellum, coffee dyed tissue paper, coffee dyed tracing paper, coffee dyed paper bags. I coffee dye everything. Speaking of the coffee dyeing, I'll just do a little sidetrack here. I have this Hannaford brand instant coffee, and this is what I dye all my paper with. So just a general, you can get this at the dollar store too. I have. This one came from Hannaford, but just instant coffee. And I make it really, really strong, so my paper is a little darker, but I love it. So anyway, coffee dyed paper. Tissue paper. I always save the tissue paper that comes in gifts, you know, when they're wrapped up in this stuff, because I love to wrap up stuff that I'm sending out in this. I like to stamp on this and then glue it down to pages. I don't generally coffee dye this because it tends to fall apart, but I will lay it down and glue it down and then use a coffee mix of glue and instant coffee and a little water to kind of make almost like a Mod Podge kind of setup to dye it once it's down so it's not this white. Lots of uses for this. I spritz it with a couple of different sprays, which I'll show you in a bit, but yeah, tissue paper, all different types too. You know, the brown, the colors, all of it. Okay, paper, 6x6 pads, 8x8 pads, 12x12 pads. We have them. I love them. I have a variety of them. Single-sided, double-sided. My absolute favorites are my Tim Holtz. All of my Tim Holtz papers are my favorite. These are the wallpapers. I think that's what they're called, or backdrops, rather. These are the backdrops, and then I have the wallpapers, but they're not handy. I love these. I love all of the Tim Holtz paper pads. I hoard them because I don't think you can get a lot of them anymore. So if I would say, what's your favorite? What if someone would ask me, these are my favorite. These are my absolute favorite. I love, love, love all the Tim Holtz papers, as many people do. And for good reason. They're like excellent, excellent quality, and they're just amazing. So here's just a couple more wallflowers. This one was my favorite of all time. This one, and yeah, no, this was the one. This just, I love this one. It's my absolute favorite. Again, hoarding it. I don't even know if you can get them anymore. Dapper. I have a couple of these because they have the numbers and stuff. Just gorgeous. My second favorite paper pad that I use all the time is this Kirby Teasdale paper pad. I'm just trying to get to the back of it. Okay, here we go. it's kind of falling apart. I have a few of these. Whenever I see them, I grab them because look at them. They're gorgeous. They've got birds and how does this open? This one's the one I'm going through right now. But this is one of my favorite paper pads of all time. And I don't know. It goes together well. I make a lot of folios out of this. So it's this Kirby Teasdale Studio. This one you can still get. I got mine at Hobby Lobby. But check Amazon. It is, it's from the Paper Studio. And it's 652-685. I might have it in the description box below, but you can also just search for it. And then one that I don't think is available anymore that I also just love so much is this Tales of You and Me by Prima. And again, just another gorgeous aesthetic. I have a ton of paper pads and I love them all, but some are just more of a favorite than others. So I'm just sharing my faves. I'm sharing them. This one's a double-sided pad too, and I love it. Tales of You and Me. Okay, moving on. All right, so I'm just gonna talk about ephemera in a general sense. There's a lot of controversy. What's ephemera? What's not ephemera? All of that, I'm not gonna get into it. You can watch all the drama online if you choose to. But I'm not gonna make it drama. I'm just gonna tell you that I loop everything that I put onto things as ephemera. That I put into things like tags and journaling cards and fussy cuts, and all of that is ephemera to me. So all of my ephemera, I love it, whether it is in fussy cut form or whether it is in sticker form. I'm absolutely in love with it and can't really journal without it. Now, this is my absolute, I got so much stuff in here, I'm sorry. I kind of have this big box that I dig through all the time, so I constantly keep this handy. And then I have ephemera everywhere. I have it everywhere. There's a ton of it, but this is just fun to dig through for me. So people are like, why don't you organize that? And I have ephemera that's organized, but this one is just fun to dig through. And so I keep it like this on purpose, and I love it. And I'm going to probably still continue to keep it like this. This was a gift. I have some pieces in here that I want to use. So they are, gosh, Jane, you're amazing. Yeah, so all my ephemera, okay, we're just gonna, that's everything that I use to put down on my pages, and I couldn't journal without it, so they're all my faves. Though, I will say, I have some new fussy cuts that are coming into my shop. I love them, and then these packs by the Paper Studio are also really fun. They have a lot of these fussy cut bits and stuff. They just have this, like, sheen on them, which I'm a little averse to, whereas, my own fussy cuts are put on that Nina cardstock, so they are way more matte, which I love. So look for these in the shop in 2025. There's going to be a bunch of them coming into view. Here's just a preview of what you'll be able to get. So there are these crafty cuts, and we're going to have mushrooms, and we're going to have some flowers. And you can order them pre-cut like this, and they'll come to you, and then you can ink them up and put them in your journals. There will also be a downloadable fussy cut sheet, so just something to look forward to, right? We all need a little something to look forward to. So, yeah, ephemera. All right. And with ephemera comes my words. I have a box of words that I'm always going to, and whenever I do a project and I have words left over, they'll make it into this box. I have some of my own sets in here, which you can find on the website, hitherandyonstudio.com. If you're interested, I have some word sets, vertical and horizontal. Check them out. And then just even this one too. This is my black and white set. I love this set. It's got some fun numbers and words and quotes and stuff. So check that out as well. All right. There's also some freebies on my Ko-Fi site, Coffee, ko-fi.com. So look for Hither and Yon on there. But this is my word box. So lots of words. I know that these are These are My Porch Prints. Her stuff is so distinct. I always know it. But yeah, all my words. I can't do without the words. I'm never at a loss for words because of this box. I love it, and I keep it handy, and I'm constant. Again, I'm kind of a digger. I like to do this. Some people don't. I also have stuff in the ephemera books that I made, but sometimes I just enjoy this process. So my words, absolute favorite supply. My tabs, right? Oh, my tabs. I love these things. You could say this is part of the ephemera, but I kind of think of the ephemera as the decorative. And this is decorative in a sense, but it's also functional. So my tabs, some of these I make on my Silhouette or Cricut. Some of them I punch out with my, I have a hole punch over there that I got on Temu that does this kind of almost like a whale tail. But yeah, these things, I have them in all different sizes and shapes. I love them. My tabs. Top supply. Okay, my inks, right? My two favorites this year were definitely Ground Espresso and Vintage Photo, though I did venture out into other colors like antique linen and old paper and things like that I try to use a little more. But these two distress inks from Ranger are my favorite, and these are the inks, not the oxides. So my absolute, use these in every session. So love. So then that also brings me to my oxides. So these, I have a variety of colors. But these are the oxides, and you can tell the difference because the oxides come in this gray and the inks come in these black. So I always know when I'm grabbing them off the shelf, but I have labeled them now because I'm using them more frequently. So my oxides, I used to think that I loved the inks more than the oxides, but the more I played with the oxides, the more I love them now. And I've gotten into a whole thing. I showed you my blending brushes for my oxides in my last video of my favorite tools. And if you missed that video, by the way, I'll try to link it here or in the description box below, and you can go ahead and check that out. But yeah, so, and now this year I'm going to be part of the Paper Roses Studio design team. So I'm going to be doing some more card making along with junk journaling for them. And so these will make more of an appearance in 2025. So, distressings, can't live without them. And then just my other like permanent inks and acid-free inking. So my archival ink from Ranger, and then this stays on in a variety of colors. I usually am using Timber Brown or Jet Black. This I have in red and blue and watering can here, green. I have a variety of colors of this. So these are the ones that I use mostly for stamping my cling stamps. My favorites, absolute favorites. And I have a really big archival ink pad that's like for black for my bigger stamps. So all my inks, I love my inks, can't do without them. And then these distress spray stains, I also have some of these in spray oxides and distress inks and all of that. I don't find that I use these as much because when I am looking to create, I'm usually using just the regular ink because it seems to give me more control. I bought these and I do use them because I want to use my supplies, but I just don't find myself grabbing these as often as I would like. So, you know, they're nice, but I just don't use them that much. And the same goes for these new distress spritz. I'm using them because I bought them, but I just don't find that I'm using them as frequently as I want to, or I thought I would. I have a ton of colors. Maybe this year, because I'm doing more card making, I'll get more use out of them. They're definitely getting some use, but I wouldn't say they're my favorite at this point. Since we're going to talk about mediums, let me get the words off my desk. Put that in the box. Let's get into my mediums. So my glues and things like that, we'll talk a little bit about. So my art glitter glue, that's not art glitter glue. I get asked about this more than I get asked about anything else. I used art glitter glue. I still use it just as the art glitter glue. But then I found that just my habit, I'm not good at putting no, it wants to come out all over the place, of course, of putting this, you know, the pin in it, because when you use it, you have to cap it or pin it or it's going to dry out. And it's got a fine tip, which comes with it when you buy it, not the refill, but you have to get the one that has the tip that comes with it. And but now I found that if I just mix it 50-50 with this PVA glue, so what happened was, this was down, and I said, well, you know what, let me see if I mix some PVA glue, if it'll be less of an issue where it had more open time. And not open time on the page where like it's not going to glue fast, because this sucker glues down super fast. But more so for flow. I wanted a better flow. So I ended up mixing the PVA glue with it, and it was okay. It flowed a little better because this does flow rather quick. But then it wasn't quite perfect. So I just added a dash of water. So I had like half a bottle. I filled it up, and then there was like a little room at the top. So I just put a splash of water in there, and it was perfect. And that is kind of the mix that I use now. Going forward, though, I have been known to use either independent, like I have a small bottle, like I said, upstairs that I seal envelopes with, and it works fine. I recently introduced in this Barely Art, and I wanted to see kind of, you know, how it would hold up to the art glitter glue, and I find them to be almost exactly the same. Not my mix, but the original art glitter glue. And I find them to be almost exactly the same. This one I bought, it came with a couple of tips. It came with this precision tip, which I love. And then it came with, oh, am I going to find it? Yeah, it came with this bigger tip here. So this was like a set. It came with this, and then this is just a cap to close it, I believe. Yeah. And then it also has just like a regular cap. So I tried it. I like it. There's nothing wrong with it. If it was cheaper, I'd buy it, because it's I would say it compares exactly the same to art glitter glue. Though I will say that because I ordered the real, it's called the mini. So this one is 2 fluid ounces. I love the size of this bottle. So I'll probably buy a refill for this just to use. Especially if it's cheaper than the art glitter glue. It's a slightly better flow than the art glitter glue, but I still have to continuously put the cap on. You know, it's the same issue that I had with the art glitter glue. Great glue, just I don't see any real difference. Glue. Look, if you don't, this is pretty expensive as far as glue goes. I also use an Elmer's glue. So, you know, white Elmer's glue is perfectly fine. Do that. You can use that forever. As far as glue sticks go, this is my all-time favorite. I love it. I've tried all different ones, and this one is my winner. It's my Oohoo stick. I like the size of it. I go through them like mad. I like the way it holds, and yeah, there's not much more to say. It's my favorite glue stick. Oohoo sticks. I buy these like 8 and 12 at a time. So, my Fabrifix. I have this Beacon Fabrifix. So this one is 8 ounces. It was $9.99 in Hobby Lobby. You can find it cheaper. There's also a 3-in-1 glue. I don't know if Beacon also makes that, but it's similar in nature. I kind of use the terms interchangeably. And I have put this into this Sweet Sugar Bell bottle, which I probably missed in my favorite supplies in the other tools in the other video, because this bottle is awesome. And this is just a knitting needle tip protector that I keep on top because it seals it up. And yeah, Fabrifix. I love this for fabric, lace, when I'm putting my lace down. Anything that needs a really good bond, so if I'm gluing down a button or a metal object or something that's a little more heavier weight, I'll use that for that. Okay, is that all the glue? No, it is not. my Elmer's spray adhesive. I love this stuff. For bigger areas, like if I'm putting a big piece of fabric or paper or tissue onto a big surface, I'll use this, but it stinks. It really smells so bad that I only prefer to use it if I'm outside, really. I don't like using this in the house at all because it really, really smells so bad. So just a word of caution with that. Any more glue on my desk? Any more glue? Oh yeah, you know, let me talk about these. I know people love these. These are the Tombow glues. I bought them because I saw somebody using them. I'm like, you know what, let me give them a try, because they have this broad tip end where you can kind of like make a wider line, and then they have a fine line tip. The problem, I don't like them. And the reason I don't like them is not because it's not a good glue. It's a great glue. It's just that it takes forever to dry. And for me, that's a problem. I have no patience whatsoever. So for me, this just takes too long to dry. Now, in your world, that might be, you know, relative and what's too long, you know, but in my world, it takes too long to dry. This one is the multi, and this one I actually like, because you can do a repositionable with this. So you can put this on something and let it dry, not putting something on top of that. Just like, you know, putting it on the back of a butterfly, let's say, and just let it dry. And then you can take that and stick it to things like a Post-it note. So it allows you to do that. So that's this Tombow Mono Multi. And this one I like. And I use this a lot more because I use it to actually stick things up on my surfaces. But it also does a regular bond too. So if you put the glue down and then you put something right on top of it, it does a regular bond. But if you leave it open to dry, then that surface becomes repositionable. Okay, so not so much. You probably have a different opinion if you love the glues, but that's fine. We all love what we love, right? That's it for the glue. Oh wait, no, it's not. This is new to me this year, and this is E6000 Extreme Tack. The reason I got this is because I saw, oh goodness, the Posh Paper Lady using this to make glue dots, and it works, guys. It works really well. I don't have any down here, but you can use this to put out a dot and then let it dry, and then you can peel it up and use it as a glue dot for dimensional pieces. Works excellent. The only thing I would suggest is that whatever you put it down on, I would use like a parchment or a wax paper, because you need to get it back up. And sometimes it's got extreme tack, so it will stick to some surfaces. So you don't want to put it like on a piece of paper. I think I tried it on a piece of plastic packaging, and it was not a good idea. So I would say use some parchment or a silicone sheet. That would probably be best, because you'll get it off of that for sure. That's it. This is new in my craft room, but definitely coming in to 2025. I love this stuff, and I love the Posh Paper Lady for turning me on to it. If you don't know the Posh Paper Lady, go check out her channel on YouTube. Awesome makes. Not just junk journals. She does a lot of like just general paper craftings and other crafting. So lots of fun stuff over there. Okay, let's talk about some other mediums here. My Gessos, I have clear, I have white, and I have black. So I have the range. I think this one actually might be white, but I do have black. Yeah, this one's white. Oh, here's my black. Oh, actually, this is matte gel. That's why. All right, so I have clear, black, and white. I use these all the time. If you don't know, you're kind of new. Gesso will give you a paintable surface, or a surface that you can stamp on and things like that. Basically, it's the clear is just a base they use to make acrylic paints with, and you know, you can put it over something and then draw on it and paint on it if you couldn't normally. I use this a lot to take the glare off of things that have a satin or shiny surface. I'll use this clear one, and then I have the white, which I use to go over book pages, just kind of push back the book page so I can put something over top of it, paint over top of it. You can use watercolors or acrylic paints or markers or anything like that. And then the black I like to use to kind of cover up stuff. So if I'm, you know, trying to push back an image, like if I'm using a recycled piece of mail and there's pictures and stuff on it, I'll push it back with some black so I can do some stuff over top of it. It has a bunch of different uses, but yeah, I love my black gesso. My collage mediums and my matte mediums. So I have this distressed collage medium. This is really good if you're doing glue books or just doing a lot where you're pushing down papers. I like to use this in my mixed media when I'm doing it. It's a collage medium for a reason. It's really good and it's matte, and so I like the way matte looks, so that's why I use matte. And the same thing here with the matte gel. So this one is the cheaper Master's Touch. I get this one at Hobby Lobby. I use this all the time. This is great for gluing things down too. If you are, you know, if you don't want to use like a wet glue like this, you can just use this with, you know, I use it with my spackle knife, and I'll just put a big amount down and then put stuff down. So if I'm gluing a bunch of book pages to like the back of a 12 by 12 paper or the back of a paper bag, I'll often use this just because it's faster. What else do we have? Oh, my UV. So this is my UV resin. I use this like, I would use embossing powder on top of things to make them shiny and hard. I have a little black light flashlight, and if you have one of those gel nail things, you can use that as well. It makes a nice hard finish, and you can also make little pieces with it too. There's molds that you can put this into, but I use this kind of like to make a shiny surface. If I want something that looks like glass, I'll use this. I love it, love it. I use this a lot. You guys probably don't see me use it that much, but I do use this an awful lot. This is almost empty. I have a couple of new bottles over there. My glossy accents, for the same reason, you know, sometimes I'll emboss, but sometimes I'll just use these. I love the way glossy accents looks because it doesn't dry completely clear. It says dries to a clear gloss finish, but there's like a hint, and I love that look. So that's why I love my glossy accents. So this is something you just put over top of like a word or something to give it a little gloss finish, kind of like what you would do with a clear emboss or the UV, or, you know, if you've ever used the glossy Mod Podge, it'll kind of do something like that. But this has kind of a precision tip on it, which I find a lot easier to use if you're covering up small spaces. So, and this I've been using for quite some time. I think I have another one that's the this Ink Essentials also has something like this. This one's the Ranger product. This one's the Crackle Accents, but they have a glossy accent. Oh, actually, okay, so Ranger makes them both. I guess, I don't know. Maybe this was the old generation and this is the new generation. I don't know, but I have them both. This one I love a lot though. Although I don't like glossy surfaces that much. I find that I'm using this more and more this year, just to put a little zhuzh. I don't know. I think I have something I can here. Yeah. So this little snowflake ornament, you can see it's not exactly clear. It kind of has just a hint of like an antique look, and that's what I love about it. And there is an actual antique one that you can get. It has an antique finish. That's not this one, right? No, this one's clear. Okay. My paints, so those come in a variety. So I have acrylic paints, I have a variety of watercolors. I love these pearlescent colors. So these are a gold and silver metallic set of watercolors. And let me tell you, this is very rich color. It is gorgeous. Some of my favorites are like this rose gold and this kind of bronzy gold. The silver too. As you can see, I don't really use these too much. This is more like a white pearl. But yeah, I love this watercolor set. I saw a mixed media artist use it and I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. You cannot believe how rich the color is on these. They are just amazing. love, love, love these. They will definitely be coming with me. And my acrylics. So I have a variety of Liquitex, Maker's Touch, just some other off brands. I have this kind, and then I have the acrylic craft paint that I use in a bunch of projects. So all my acrylic paints, I use them on my jelly plate. They are a favorite indeed, and a necessity in my craft room. This spray paint by Krylons is Shortcuts. This is an antique bronze. I use this to paint my paper clips and other metal items that, yeah, I don't have any in here. Let me show you. Behind the scenes is so funny. So it does this finish because I did the top of this too. And I just use it to turn my silver paper clips. These started out like this into this. So, because, you know, this is very shiny, and my aesthetic is more antique-y and vintagey. So I just spray paint them. I put them out in a big box and then just spray paint them, flip them over, and do the other side. I mean, it's not like a lasting solution. That's not going to hold on there forever. Especially because you're painting over something that's like a shiny surface. So, but I love it. It does the job, and it makes paper look really cool too. So this is definitely a must-have in my craft room. This as well. So this fabric seal from Thompson's, I use to seal the tops of journals and other fabric stuff. So a lot of times I will use my inkjet printer and I will print on fabric, and that's a whole process for me. But the ink from the inkjet printer is not waterproof. It can come off if you get it wet. So what I do is I seal it with this fabric seal after I print it, and then it's sealed. It's not the perfect solution, and it's not going to be the same as like sublimation or something like that, but it does seal the fabric and helps to keep it preserved. So I will do the tops of my journals and things that, you know, I don't want to get damaged with water. And just you know, you just spray it on, you let it dry. It stinks like crazy when you first spray it on, but after it dries, you can't even tell. There's nothing. So this is a must in my craft room. 2 new items this year. Thank you, Patty. Checkmate on YouTube. I was looking at these all over TikTok when, you know, and I think Patty saw me, or on Instagram or something, and then she bought them and she was using them, and I saw them and I was like, oh man, now I really want them. So I did get them. These are great products. So this matte one, they're both new. I've tried them both. I love them both. This matte one is great for covering up stickers and stuff. The same thing I use my clear gesso for, I will use this for. It works for decoupage and all sorts of stuff like that. This one's the gloss. So this one I could use in place of, like, you know, these or my embossing, which I have. And it gives a really hard finish. So, yeah, great items. This one, if you just put a single layer or 2, it strengthens whatever you're doing, but it leaves a nice matte finish, and I love that. And so these are new in my craft room from Scorch Marker. Each bottle, though, is a little pricey. I think each one was about 20 bucks, but this stuff will last for me forever. I mean, I'm not even going to be able to get this off right now. That's because I took that inside thing out of, I find that very annoying. I might have to put this in another bottle, but yeah, anyway, this will last a very long time. You need a very little bit, depending on what you're doing. But I could also see that I could pour this on things. So I'm going to play with this more in 2025, both of them actually. And so you'll see more of that this coming year. Okay, oh, all my metal. So we'll kind of talk about this all as one. So like all these metal bits, supplies, they're supplies. So brads and, you know, you want to call these grommets or eyelets, whatever you want to call them. And these posts are new to me. I've seen them used a lot, and you probably have too if you've watched any junk journal videos, but they're new to me, so I'm going to be using these more. But all my metal objects, especially my paper clips, these little mini binder clips, and these bulb pins, which I love so much. I love, love, love these. I buy them in bulk on Amazon, super cheap, Much cheaper than the Tim Holtz ones. By all means, if you want to spend your money for the brand, do so, but I don't. And they have these in a variety of sizes and colors, so they don't just come in this brass color or bronze. You can get them in multicolors. I also have used these as stitch markers for crochet, so multi-use. But all of these little metal bits, I have so many, and I don't think I could live without them. And of course, our paper clips, right? We have to make our hidden paper clips. And I also have some fun novelty paper clips. This one's a little envelope with a heart. And then this little raindrop. I think these are Temu or AliExpress, whatever version of that you might have. What else? More bits, buttons and charms and bits. Love these. These are favorite supply of mine. They come in all different types. Some newer ones I have since added to my stash, and that'll bring up the rest of this stuff. Are these little birdie charms that I got on Temu. Look how cute they are. So I use these in dangles and things like that. So that and all of my beads and dangle making supplies here. Not this. This is not part of anything. That was a gift that I love. But all these metal jewelry bits. So I have like random wings and dragonflies and angels and fairies and stuff like that. Again, I'm a digger, so that's why you'll see me have these like hoarded bundles. But yeah, I had made jewelry at one time. I thought it was going to be like a, a jewelry maker, but I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. I still enjoy it, but not as a business. So I have a bunch of bits, some of my paper beads that I've made. So all my jewelry bits and my wire and that, and then I have this case that I use for dangles. And it's just one of these. This case has been around forever. It just hold bits that I'm going to use when I'm making dangles. So I just kind of keep them in here with all my jewelry and stuff. Bits. And you saw my jewelry making tools in the other video. But these are the bits that I use with those tools. So yeah. All my jewelry stuff. Oh, I'm navigating a landmine down here. All right, so that's all of those. Tickets, right? And, well, that would go with Ephemera. But, yeah, tickets. I have tons of tickets that I use in my make. So, I guess we could put these with Ephemera. And I already went over that, so I'm not going to get too much more into that. Oh, I wanted to show you these. This is a supply I use from time to time. I keep it around because it takes me back to when I first got started. I didn't have any supplies. I didn't have any Distress spritz. I didn't have any sprays. I didn't have any inks. And somebody had made some sprays with some mica powder and alcohol. I think this is alcohol. I don't know if it's, I think it's alcohol. Yeah, it's alcohol. Okay. And so I didn't have any mica powder. So what I did was my daughter had given me an old palette of eye makeup that she wasn't using anymore. And it had some great colors in it. So all I did was put some alcohol in here. And I scraped some of the eyeshadow in here. And I used this to spritz on paper. I don't know how well you're going to see it. Let me just see if I can. And because the alcohol dries really quick, and then it leaves like a shimmer from there must be a mica powder of types. I don't know how well it's coming up on the camera, but these work great, and I still use these, and I keep them around just as a reminder that, start where you are, and this is what I started with. This is a great idea. If you have some eyeshadow, a spray bottle, and some alcohol, you can make a variety of these, and I suggest you do because they work really well and they give some shimmer. So like before these there was that but these I use more often because of the shades. I just like these better. Anyway, I wanted to show you those because those are one of my favorite supplies, and I still use them and I love them. And this will settle, but then all I do is just shake it up and it goes back to the way it was. All right. The tapes. Let's talk about tape. right? This is my Tyvek tape. This is what I use to hold my journals together. I love this tape. You can get it in the big box store. They use it when they're putting insulation on the outside of houses. The Tyvek wraps, they use the tape to hold it together because this stuff is super strong. It doesn't tear. It tears, but it doesn't tear like, it tears when you need to tear it off, but it doesn't tear in the sense that when you're folding it back and forth, which is why I use it like when I'm binding journals together and stuff like that. You'll see me use this in my videos. I love it. Before I had this though, I would use those Tyvek envelopes from the post office that you can get for the priority mail, you know, the ones that you can't rip. And I would just cut strips of those and glue it down with my Fabrifix glue or 3-in-1 and use that. So, but this is one of my favorite tapes of all time. I love it. Must have. Double-sided tape I'm using more this year, so this has become a favorite. Love it. I have the super strong one. I have a bunch of different sizes, and then I have the foam, which apparently has dog hair all over it. But yeah, I love this stuff, and using it a lot more this year, so it has become a favorite. This blue tape, I bought it. I know some people love this stuff, or green tape, mint tape, that's what it is. It's scrapbook.com, I think. I don't find myself using it that much. So I just wanted to mention it. It was something that I bought that I thought I'd love, and I didn't. I mean, it happens. So I just don't find myself using it that much. I'm sure that what I really wanted to use it for was my dies, because I tape them down, but I just use washi. And so I was gonna, if you're, you know, it's not an expense that I needed. So, oh no, you're out for a reason. Yeah, so just letting you know about that. This is my vintage tape that I make. So this is another tape that must be in my craft room. So I make this with alcohol inks, and there's a bunch of videos on YouTube, including on my channel, on how I make this. I just use a couple of alcohol inks to make this tape. I originally saw it made, gosh, I don't even know who it was that I saw. Anyway, one of the other junk journalers was making it, and I said, oh, I want to give that a shot. And so I used packing tape, and I also use just regular Scotch tape. And then I just keep it on a sheet of parchment paper, and I have it, you know, connected to a cabinet here with a magnet. And I just pull it off, and then I'll use these in my journals to make the pages look vintage. You know how that tape looked after it was sitting around on pictures for years. So that is a must have, and a favorite in my craft room for sure. Okay guys, we're getting in the home stretch, so just a few more things on my desk. Books, definitely a supply, not a tool, except for my glue book. That is a tool. But I just brought this one out. I have a ton of books. I use the covers, I use the interior pages, I fussy cut these, I use them in journals as interior pages, I use my books as bases for tags, and you know, I couldn't make journals without books. So yeah, books, one of my top supplies. This is probably in the top 5. Stickers. So this, my daughter got me for Christmas. I couldn't find it the other day, but I found it now. I have a bunch of these sticker books by this brand. Where is it? It's on here somewhere. Peter Pauper Press, I guess. They have a variety of these books of stickers, but this one is kind of cool. It's Mystical Ephemera, and it just has a lot of these fun stickers in it. These are shiny too, so I'll definitely use one of those mediums to kind of take that sheen away, but so many fun things. All my stickers, I love my stickers. Stickers I would also probably put with ephemera, but you know, it's a little different. They're stickers. So yeah, books, stickers, book pages. You know, book pages is a big supply in my craft room. Envelopes. I'm gonna give you a whole nother envelopes when I do the junk one, but these are just, you know, pre-made envelopes. And then I have an envelope maker, so I make my own. I love the craft envelopes, and I love these vellum envelopes. So I use these a lot in a journal to hold extra ephemera. I like that they're see-through, they're already made. I'll use them as flip outs. So envelopes are always a big supply. Top 10 in my craft room for sure. Envelopes. This is something that I have in my supplies that I'm not going to use. So I bought, this is that Tim Holtz brand collage paper. I mean, I'll use it. It's just that it's really hard to tear, which is probably a good thing. I think it's that tension strength. It's just working with it to me is a little cumbersome. So it's one of those supplies that I bought that I probably won't use as much as I would like. I thought it would be, rather than using it in mixed media, I might try to use it more for like pockets and things like that. And then we'll see how that works out, or to make maybe coin envelopes out of. Just something I thought I would love, but I don't love so much. So be cautious in what you're buying. If you can get a sample of something or buy something used, do that first before you go out and spend money. And again, you can make this by stamping the tissue paper I showed you earlier with your stamps, and then just laying that over stuff, which is what I end up doing most of the time. These little Velcro hook and eye dots are a must supply. That's why I brought this one out. So it's just like a circle that you know, it's hook and eye, it's Velcro basically, and you just, it's sticky on both sides. I use it to close envelopes or attach things to other things that I want to have a removable, mostly to close envelopes though. But I have these in black and white in a couple of sizes, so these are a must, and these are definitely a top 10 item. What else? Oh, all of my pens and inks. So a variety of pens, pencils. I have Posca markers. I love my white gel pens to do writing on darker surfaces. So I have a bunch of these, a bunch of Sharpies. I love my gold Sharpie. I have a silver one too. Those are a must. And then these Inktense. I've used these from time to time. I didn't use them a lot in 2024, but I really want to start using them more in 2025. And if you haven't seen these, they are kind of like a watercolor pencil. Before watercolor pencils were a thing, these were the thing to buy. And so you can write with them and then go over them, and they kind of have this watercolor effect, and you can drag it. I did some swatches here of the colors in here, and I do love them. It's just that I haven't used them that much, but I've since moved them to my rolling craft cart, so these will be used a lot more in 2025. They are a favorite supply of mine. I just, you know, it's like one of those things, you haven't used your stuff. So we're gonna use our stuff. This is a pretty expensive buy. They're not cheap, but if this is kind of your aesthetic, or you like the way that looks and you want to blend and stuff like that, this is a really great set. It says ink pencils, but they kind of remind me of the watercolor pencils that are around now. So there, you can kind of see, you can write with them and then blend it out, which I love. I love the way these work. So I wanted to show you that. And then, oh, fabric and trims. So, guys, I got some of this Tim Holtz Eclectic Elements from, I just got it, so I have her card here. Juanette's Crafting Corner, and I don't remember which one. This is October or November. Anyway, let's see, does it say? Nope, it doesn't say which month. Anyway, he's releasing a set every month, and this, I have a couple of sets now, and I like this one a lot, actually. So anyway, fabric. I make covers with fabric, I make ephemera with fabric, I make accents with fabric, and then I do a host of other things with fabric. But fabric and trims. These neutrals are my favorite. I do go to them more often just because they are my kind of aesthetic, and I can color them. They're a cotton lace, so I can use my distress oxides or my distress inks or my spritzes or anything to kind of color them. And or I can take acrylic paint with water, and that'll give it more of a stiffer feel, but it'll color them as well. You could also just use dye or, you know, food coloring. But all sorts of trims, I can't live without them. And if you have a Hobby Lobby near you, you can find these, like, I think this was like $4 for this whole like bundle of trims. I actually, it was probably more than this because I've taken some out of it. But yeah, I can't make journals without lace and trims. So fabric, lace. This is some sari, recycled sari. You can get this on Etsy. There's a bunch of people who sell it in a variety of colors, but it's just recycled sari silk that they turn into ribbon. So yeah, there's that. Oh, my die cuts. Yeah, we can't go without talking about my die cuts. I love my die cuts. I love my dies and I love my die cuts. So all my die cuts. This supply, I'm usually doing the black, but I've tried to venture into some other neutral colors. The colorful ones I don't find myself using that much, but I do want to do more floral journals this year, so I think I'm gonna probably have some more colors come in. But black die cuts are my absolute favorite and a necessity, a must-have supply in my craft room. Maybe not yours, but mine. Thread, definitely. I sew a lot, so all of my threads, cotton, polyester, you name it, in my sewing machine, hand embroidery, whatever the case may be, a supply that I can't live without because of all the sewing. Washi. I have a ton of washi. This is just a small sampling, but I have the Tim Holtz. This is never in order, but this is the Tim Holtz fabric tape that is always coming off of here, even though I tend to seal it. Anyway, I have that, and then I have a variety of washi. This is just a very small sampling, but my washi tape is a must-have. I use it a lot more often, and I love it. I love it. I find myself, if I have it out, so then I'll use it. And a favorite supply in my craft room, my top supply, one of my top supplies, dried flowers. Definitely love them in the craft room. So I ordered some from Amazon. This is a new set I just got in, so I just wanted to show you how they come in this package. Sorry about the glare, but they're all flat, and you can all the air has been taken out to preserve them, and then you just cut this open. The air releases it, and then you can take them out, and they give you the little tweezers in this case. Not all of them do, but yeah. And then I dry my own. So these are from my hydrangea bushes and some other plants that I have around. I have some seeds in here because I put them in shakers. So dried flowers and feathers. I don't have any feathers with me, but I collect feathers on my property. And as you saw, maybe in one of my journals, I actually have a video, I saw it on Pinterest video, where I'm using the feathers with my laminator to make tags. So yeah, you might want to go check out that video. I'll try to link it if I remember. So dried flowers, definitely in my craft room. What else? All right, guys, I think we're pretty much at the end, but I do want to mention these. And also, I always have these supplies around. Sometimes you can't tell because my hands are a mess this winter, but hand cream, always. This will help you to, if you put this on before you do a lot of inking, it helps get the ink off a little easier. If you're going to do like heavy inking, just wear gloves. It's just a lot easier. I get ink all under my nails and stuff, and it just takes forever to get it out. But if you put some hand lotion on, it tends to help, and it just, you know, keeps your hands soft. My baby wipes. These are a brand name, but we usually buy them at Sam's in a big thing, you know, box, and because I go through them. Somebody did tell me recently that if you save them, and I do save them because some of them have colors on them and I like to use them, but if you save them and they dry out, you can actually use these to strengthen your junk journal seams. So these and dryer sheets. Who knew? So, but I use these to clean up messes, my hands, everything, you know. And then water, because I'm constantly filling up spritz bottles and you know, just cleaning brushes and stuff like that. So I like to have a water bottle because there's no sink down here. Well, there is, but it's not really handy. So this I keep around just so I have it an occasion to do that. I think that's it, guys. But I'm sure I forgot something, and you'll let me know, right? You'll let me know in the comments below. Let me know what your favorite supplies are this year, and what is something that you might be venturing into next year that you want to try. Is there anything here that you saw that looked interesting that you might want to try? Let me know. But always remember, start where you are. You don't need all the big supplies to get started. And I just wanted to show off my favorites because that was the promise, and I hope you liked this video. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It does help the channel. And if you're new here, maybe you'll want to subscribe to see more videos in the junk journal and paper crafting line, and you'll get to see me use all these supplies that I just showed off. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I hope to see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day or night. Bye.
In a fun junk journal dream, DJ's crafting grungy scenes. Hither and yon, where friends all meet. Paper glue and vintage treats. Ink stained hands and scraps galore. Meeting friends as we explore. A community so warm and true. Creating together something